I've got no clue what happened to him. Thomas, where'd you go? I guess he just disappeared. I feel like we've had a similar thing happen to us once. Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to another episode in good company, Freeplay, with me, Spacefish, and welcome back to our beautiful little big factory. We are back now with, well, us having finished off a good bunch of this very supply chain in the last episode. We have pretty much got all the logistics logic now going for the cassette players. Everything has slowly but surely started rolling, and as you can see, we are slowly but surely manufacturing pretty much everything that we need to make our very first perfect cassette players. So what is the plan for today is that we are going to go and monitor this assembly line. We're going to make sure that everything runs smoothly. There are no bottlenecks, there are no things missing, there are no things messed up, anything like that. And if and when all those cassette players are starting to roll off the assembly line smoothly for us, we are going to go and take on our next product improvement. That said, maybe we will have to look at this very thing first, because evidently we've got a bit of an issue right there. So, let's go and have a look at that today, but just quickly before we get started and all that and more, if you're new around here and if you do happen to enjoy this episode, please make sure to smash that subscribe button right down below. That would mean the absolute world to me. We are getting closer and closer to 1,000 subscribers every single day, and every person truly does help out a ton, so thank you so much if you did that. And without further ado, let's kind of maybe quickly look at what is the issue right here, because evidently there has to be some sort of issue, and I'm not really liking it. Evidently there's no connections at all here anymore, and I'm not liking that one either. That is very, very weird indeed. Okay, let us go and get that connection finished. Why are these here empty? Oh, these are just sell orders for the products. Well, kind of just jeopardized a lot of profit right there, I guess. Hopefully somebody now, well, we could just go, honestly, and get a batch over there ourselves so people get back to work. Yeah, but hopefully, you know, people will now start taking care again of actually moving the stuff over. That said, I'm not really sure why we're choosing a roller band here instead of just having like some sort of storage mechanism. I guess we couldn't have a storage mechanism right into the big shelving rack, but we could just have some sort of corner shelf or something around here, and don't really need a courier to move this stuff about. But anyways, I mean, we'll keep it as it is for the time being. I guess the connection right here may have broken the last time when we actually somewhat read it. This conveyor belt right here, and maybe this just disappeared off the input chart of the roller band for a quick second and broke the thing. I guess that's the way that it is. So, you know, people are working again, people are making all these fancy little pocket PCs for us, so that should hopefully be fine. That said, we do seem to have a little bit of a shortage here on plastic parts, which I don't really like that one too much. Let us maybe go and have a quick look at what could be the root cause on that one. So, I mean, the plastic parts from this thing right here, we're really only moving over to the small shelving rack right here for the batteries, and okay. And what are we using these for? Wait, have we never made the connections needed? Because these people are evidently standing in a totally different spot. We have never made the connections needed. It's a good thing that there's no yellow exclamation mark next to the shelf or something, but evidently that connection is totally 100% missing, so that's not good. The question being, with what all is attached to this, and is this one affected too? This one is affected too. With what all is attached to this, where do we have the frequency remaining currently, and which shelf can we actually take stuff from? So for this one right here, we are moving things into right here for all of these, and into right here for that quadruple battery stack. So we're making 10 of these every 0.4 days. We're using 4 every day. Then we are using how much is this? So we're using another 8 every 0.60. So technically we do have a bit of an overhead there. Question is, maybe is it bigger on the other table setup? Which this one's really only going out to 2 places thus far. I mean, on the one hand side, we've got this one right here, which is going all the way around here, and then there into the case manufacturing, I suppose. Indeed. So in this case, we're only using, well, we're using 25, in fact, every day. Which means every 0.4 days, I guess we would use like round about 60, maybe? No, wait, what? That's totally going the wrong way. Okay, so every 0.4 days we're maybe using like 12 or something. So basically a little more than the capacity of one of these. And then we do also have the plastic parts coming in up here, when we're using them at a rate of 10 every 0.6 days. That said, are we really using them at that rate? Because we really only need it for this. Which we're really only using 5 of, so I would say it's like 5 every 0.6 days right here. So I mean, we don't really have that much of an overhead in either of these, which is a bit worrying. I guess the way that we're just going to do it is we're just going to connect it through from both of the tables, and well, we're going to hope that that way just somewhat somehow balances itself out and we don't run into any shortages. Anything else, I guess, could just lead to us having a bit of an issue right there. Cannot forget about that shelving rack down there, though. Gonna make sure that we cover them all. And also, we technically do have some extra space in this thing, so I'm not quite sure why we're not using that. And on top of that, there's metal in that one, which is weird. I guess that's from one of the... What? But like, why? Yeah, that doesn't need to be in there. Well, why are we pulling the metal like that? Okay, may have made some sort of mistake right there. Metal is now actually coming in from the courier pallet instead of from moving it right there and then moving it right there. Wow, weird mistake to make, not gonna lie. I don't know if any of you actually actively witnessed me doing that or something, but I don't remember doing such a thing. We're just gonna ignore that that ever happened. Okay, let us, well, that one's now blocked for some reason. I don't really know why, but let's just move on. Gonna just move some metal into there then, and we are going to go and keep going and just fast forward things, and hopefully these lads are gonna start actually receiving some sort of plastic parts. You can see this lady right here actually started working, which is beautiful. And otherwise, oh right, this path right here is blocked, which is absolutely awesome. People actually have to move all the way around for this stuff. It's not really like I can unblock the path is the issue. Because like even moving this thing up is not really... I'm really not liking that this entire path is just blocked, but I'm also not really seeing an alternative right here to having it blocked. We can't just easily move the entire setup out of the way, so I guess that's the way that's going to have to continue working. Our logistics employees are just going to be a little less efficient in the end, so it's not great, but it is what it is. That said, we're still not... Ooh. Wait. See, now this right here is a bit of a mess up. I'm guessing I needed to actually use a retrieval segment and put a storage segment, right? Is that the issue? Because I'm quite sure we tested this setup and it actually worked back when we tested it. So I would hope that we don't have any major issues here, but let's see. Good thing we spotted that one at the very least. So always good to have a little bit of a phase where you just check things out and see if they're working. That said, how many are being chunked out by this thing at once? 5 cases. So that's literally what we're going to make the frequency here. We're going to go and get metal cases, 5 of them a cycle, and hopefully that is now going to work. It is not. Didn't we test this one out and it perfectly worked with no issues whatsoever? Anyways, who really cares? We don't really need the space anymore, so what we're going to do is we're just going to do it without this setup. I'm a bit weirded out by the fact, though, that it doesn't work, honestly. I mean, I kind of remember us testing this thing out specifically because we were, well, somewhat interested in if we would be able to get ourselves extra space that way, and it certainly did work, so, yeah, I don't know, can't explain that one, but we'll just do a standard conveyor, I guess, and we'll do a storage segment, and that's that, you know, through all of the changes we made here in the production setup, and through some of the things that we just outsourced and moved down to here instead of doing them automatically. We've gained all the necessary amounts of space anyway, so it's not really like it matters too much, but still it's kind of a bit annoying. That said, we still seem to be lacking something. The something being the metal and glass. Now the question is, why is the metal and glass not coming in? We've got the retrieval segment right here set to metal and glass. Do we not have the metal and glass connected to be coming into this corner shelf? We have not! Oh my god. See, this is why we're actually doing this kind of phase now, because, well, as you can evidently see, we are not really paying that much attention to what actually needs to be in there. That said, what I'm a bit bummed out about is that we cannot apparently stack... Oh, well, that's just because there's plastic parts lying in there. I guess if we remove those, we should be able to... Ah! I want to get my extra slot, mate. I think we're literally, honestly, just going to go redo that shelf so we get the slots that we want. There's nothing in it yet anyways. I hate how the shelves just kind of sometimes get messed up. I'm sure in the newer versions it's better, and honestly, I mean, I think we do need to get to the newer versions of Good Company eventually. When we are, well, pretty happily done with this playthrough, basically. But, well, there we go. That should now solve the issue, I hope. That said, didn't reset anything accidentally on the automatic retrieval segment, so that's good. Now, there's metal coming in, there's plastic coming in, glass rather, and that is now being moved over beautifully, so that should hopefully then give us the materials to actually do this stuff too. Now, we do have the simple circuits right here, which seem to have nicely stacked up, and we're making these receivers, which are also nicely stacking up, slowly but surely. We've got a little first one in there right now, so I assume that on the next few courier trips, we should finally... Oh yeah, we actually have the first ones in here already. It said, why are they not over there yet? Do we have that connection set up? We do indeed. I guess it's just down to the logistics employees over here being a bit slow. So, you know, feel free to take it whenever, people. Anyone? Question. How have we set this up on the courier pallet here? I think I need to set up a rule for this, don't I? Maybe that's why they're not taking it. We may have messed that up a bit. Let's make that logistics only and then see if that prompts them to take it, finally. Hopefully. Would be great. Otherwise, the cases are in production now, which is beautiful. And, you know, we're still making good profit. That actually prompted them to take it. So that's beautiful. Cases are in production. We've got a lot of money invested in this whole chain. I mean, look at the amount of raw materials just flying around everywhere. These conveyor belts, interestingly enough, being absolutely empty. Which, may be a worrying sign. Maybe we just need another logistics employee in the main, area here. Because honestly, I mean, we may otherwise encounter some shortages there in the long run. Let's just hire a person just to make sure that the thing maybe runs a bit more smoothly. Especially with like the long logistics ways around the outside here. I feel like we just kind of need a few more people. And, well, hopefully that is going to help. Missing demand. What do you mean missing demand? We've got that connected to right here, don't we? I mean, there's literally a connection going. I'm so confused. Sometimes the exclamation marks are missing, sometimes they're there, but I don't know. Maybe it's just due to this only being used via a conveyor belt and the game kind of being confused by that fact. I don't know. That said, honestly didn't really chew through much of our money setting this thing up, I was thinking that the amount of materials we were going to be importing would be absolutely insane to our profitability for a while, but evidently we're quite fine, so I'm quite happy with that. We are also done with that one research project that we still had going on right there, so I guess it is time then to look at new endeavors, and I absolutely forgot what we were saying last time we were going to be doing. Well, I mean, as a matter of fact, the one thing that I see where we're still a bit behind on is, well, the transmitter technology, maybe the storage. The question really is, how much storage can we ever need? But, you know, we're technically probably going to go for the calculator next as our next perfect project, or product rather. So, everything calculator related would probably make sense, and in my mind that means, I'm not really sure you even need storage for it, you only really need calculation capacity, I suppose. Let's maybe quickly look at our blueprint designer and see what the calculators look like today and what the demands are there from the people. Well, technically we already have one ready to go, I guess. Did forget about us actually making that become a reality the last time around, but all these things are already predefined. So I guess we don't really need anything on top there. I mean, sure, we're actually using some storage, but as you can see, we're way over the cut there already. So maybe we look towards pocket PCs then as improvement potential. Where are we at there? Yeah, maybe we just look at that, I guess. Oh, I'm not really too sure if we can really upgrade the Pocket PCs much, to be quite honest with you. I mean, if we look at the space that we've already used up today with the entire production setup, and then how far we are from a perfect product, I'm kind of a bit worried about that part. So maybe, and what we actually did before the Pocket PC, we did these bots down here, right? But that was also overfill. I'm honestly not sure. Like, we're really starting to run out of space here, so we kind of need to figure out how in the world we want to accomplish these things at some point. In terms of this, we've got the Cura Bot Mark II here. Speed, storage, battery life, mobility. So I mean, for storage, we could use like a medium compartment or something, I guess. So that would be an option. Motors, we've got the better ones at this point in time. Battery, we do have better options at this point in time. And sound, I think we've also got better options. So maybe like a compartment or something. Where are we at in terms of sound? Just before we go do that, yeah, we've got way better options. I mean, we've literally researched all the way to an advanced audio module. And this is currently what we're using. Just to give you a bit of a picture of how far ahead we are with research. That said, we only still have a small compartment. So I guess we're going to go for a large one. And then maybe for a small cargo bay even, just to get something good going. I guess that's something to go for. Cool. So that is determined. I think that one makes sense. We are going to move on then just to quickly monitor this stuff. And then we maybe look at the other products if they're doing well, if we need to make any changes there. And you know, then we probably look at the calculator as our next endeavor, given that we've already predefined something right there. That said, we are also a bit low on metal right there, which is absolutely not beautiful indeed. Now, you know, person's still coming, but that said, I think we're going to add one more logistics employee to the zone just to make sure enough people are flying around. I know, it's a lot due to just like 3/4 of the zone being blocked off and them not being able to move very efficiently from up here to down there, but I don't really see a way of us improving that unless we want to shave away from the space that we've got over here for the calculator production, which quite frankly we really shouldn't, because that's literally the next thing that we are looking to perfect. That said, speaking about perfecting, let's perfect our research in terms of cargo compartments and go for the small cargo bay now. And, you know, hopefully that's going to be a nice improvement to have. I'm just going to literally grind through that tree quickly and, I don't know, then we're going to see maybe something like a radio link or something's going to be next. I mean, cameras and stuff would be cool too, but, you know, that's really for drones, which we're not going to get to anytime soon, and well, anything else. I mean, all these upgrades, I haven't used a single one of these just yet, so I don't really know. I've never really felt the need for them, so it is what it is for the time being, I suppose. That said, another topic actually would be that my little guy up here is just standing around doing nothing. And we've got a whole lot of things that we could just use for, you know, fancy analysis. So we should do that and get him to work on that. So I'm going to go and tell him to analyze 110 cases, which is going to just easily take him, how long was that? I didn't see. A huge amount of time, and, you know, he can beautifully work away on that. Ooh, boy. I forgot about that one. Didn't we fix this? Why are we still out of materials out here? Did I kind of break some sort of... Did I fix the courier route to up here? So this was our new courier route. This was our old one, right? That one's supposed to be taking from courier pallets 21 plastic and chemical. Is there a plastic and chemical on said courier pallet? There is. Different question. Where's my courier at? Where is my courier at? Did my courier just disappear or something? What in the world? Hello? Are you just acting like you're working, or Thomas Core whatever? Can we track him like this? Let's see if we find Thomas here in our list of like 200 employees or something weird. 207 people. Quite insane, isn't it? The way that we've grown over all the days and years and months, and it's wow. Thomas, does anyone see a Thomas? I am not seeing a Thomas. I'm quite weirded out by the fact that I'm not seeing him anywhere on the supposed route, to be quite fair with you. Like, I don't know. Thomas, can I track you somehow? I don't seem to be able to, am I? Okay, let's have a proper look around. He's not camouflaged himself as a trash can, so, you know, that's a start. Not seeing around here. He doesn't appear to be anywhere here in the middle of the production setup, and he's certainly not right there at where the pallet is. Though we've got the courier routes, which should be going through up here. He's not anywhere to be seen there either. This is the courier that we've got going for the other thing. And then aside from that, I'm not really spotting him anywhere. I've got no clue what happened to him. Thomas, where'd you go? I guess he just disappeared. I feel like we've had a similar thing happen to us once. Maybe it's just kind of got to do with the thing breaking and him just being stuck and not really knowing what to do and eventually disappearing. I don't know. We will have to fire him eventually, unfortunately, rather. And let's just go to the courier routes, and we're going to go and add another employee to the thing. And hopefully that means that someone's actually going to start carrying the necessary stuff over again. There is the person. See? That's how it should work. So that should now mean that we hopefully get the materials over there again. All the fancy amounts of plastic and chemical and everything. Jesus Christ, huge amount. And then we actually do some analysis again, so, you know, the research data keeps flowing, and people that I pay up here actually do something for the money. Because, you know, heard that was kind of useful in the end. So, well, you know, people are going to redistribute, and everything's going to be fine, and everyone's going to be happy, and, well, you know, that's something working for us again. That said, all the stuff is slowly backing up on the conveyor belts, except for right here, to be honest, but... You know, as long as we're not really short on any sort of cases, I'm not going to be worried, and we're short on cases. Great. Okay, so maybe something to find out right there is why we are so terribly short. I guess the reason being that the shelf is just small, and the logistics employees are really not quite keeping up with things. I mean, Jesus Christ, that shelf is staying empty for a whole long while. And while all these materials are somewhat coming over, I'm not really sure they're coming over in the necessary amounts. It is looking a bit better, to be honest. Maybe it was just still from when we hadn't hired enough employees for the thing. Overall, now, seems to me Like, we've at least got enough materials backed up to where this thing doesn't stand still anymore. So then we've got the cases coming in, which should be fine. This thing doesn't also seem to particularly just be waiting for stuff. Now that I say it, though, it may just, yeah, well, it's got, like, slight phases, but that may still be from before when we didn't have enough employees. So, that's that, and then these cases come to right here, and then, oh. Maybe it isn't the machines after all. Maybe it is just that we don't have a freaking connection going. Ah, beauty. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We've never even had anything run off this assembly line, and I never noticed. Come on, logistics employees. Please pick up the stuff quickly. I need some cases. That's like urgent. Help. Someone get cases now. Oh no, somebody already got cases. Good stuff. Thank you. We're finally making our product. Only took us like 25 minutes to realize. Jesus Christ. Okay, but that's beautiful. That means that we're finally making our first perfect cassette players, and we're finally done with this crazy odyssey. So I'm quite happy with that. Took us a little longer than expected, to be honest. I kind of expected us to be able to move on to the next thing today already, but evidently we were not. So we will schedule that for the next episode then. We will just look around real quick probably to make sure that everything that we do have is still running as expected. We don't need to make any adjustments. Nothing has evolved in the meanwhile, which probably something has evolved. And then we'll move on to the cassette players. Not to the cassette players, to the calculators and take care of them. But that's something for the next episode then. For today, I'm going to end it off right here. I hope you all enjoyed this very one. If you did, please make sure to smash that like button right down below for the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new around here and haven't done so just yet, also please consider subscribing right down below, as well as hitting that bell icon in order to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. But with all that out of the way then, as usual everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I will catch you in the next episode very, very soon. Ciao.